Merry Christmas, everyone. We have finally made it to the number one spot in Mass Appeal Masterpieces. If you want a fragrance that just smells good, gets you compliments, has good longevity, and is worth every single penny, I would have to say the Creed Aventus DNA, but more specifically, Club de Nuit Intense Man. I am not sponsored by this company. This is basically an inspired or copied version of Creed Aventus, which is the most sold fragrance at our shop, for sure, by far. It's been sold a lot, so I've smelled it thousands of times. I could get a bottle if I wanted to, but my biggest gripe is it doesn't last. This is basically the same thing with a few slight differences, but it lasts way longer and it's smokier. Creed Aventus basically smells like very earthy, woodsy. It opens up very bright with the very juicy, fresh pineapple and citrus, and then it dries to something very woodsy, smoky, kind of earthy, but still fruity, and it's so addictive. It is so. I sprayed some on earlier, but let me do it again. I think this is just so good when it dries. The difference between this one and the original is definitely the opening. The opening on Aventus is definitely has more of a juicy pineapple. This one is a little more citrus. I do also own the original, which most people complained about because the opening is really bad. A lot of people say, I don't think it's that bad. It definitely gives lemon cleaner vibes, but it's not great. It's very harsh. But when both of these dry, you get basically the same thing as Creed Aventus. Show this. If you spray these on a strip and then spray Creed Aventus on another strip, let them dry, the average person will not tell the difference. Even in the air, if you spray it on yourself, spray the other on your wrist, this will definitely project more than the original. It lasts longer, and it still has that addictive, smoky quality. These are smokier than the original, that's for sure, which I would imagine is what the older versions of Creed Aventus was like. That made it addictive. It's so good when it dries. This takes away that harsh opening from the original. But yeah, earthy, woodsy, pineapple. It definitely has that patchouli in it, but not the pissy kind of patchouli that smells like piss. It's definitely an earthy, clean, outside after it rains with some smoky pineapple. You've definitely smelled it before. I would go as far to say Aventus and Baccarat Rouge were so popular that they started the clone and dupe industry. Now there's fakes, and then there's dupes and inspired by versions, and I would say these two right here kickstarted them all because they were sold so often and are so popular. Everybody has smelled them. But these two, they will get you compliments. You've probably heard about it online, but they just work. They just work. Every time I've sprayed these and I've been around somebody, they're like, oh, you smell good. What does that smell? It just works. I promise you, these just work. I even showed this one to my friend, and he also has the original bottle of Creed Aventus, and he's like, I would wear this. He was actually really surprised at how close it is to the original. A dupe is never going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit different because there is some sort of difference when there's a price gap that big. But this still is smokier, it lasts longer, and I like this more than the original. I'm not sprayed the original so many times. I know that scent like the back of my hand. And I love it. I just love the smokiness. And what's also kind of weird is when women smelled Creed Aventus and this one, they actually liked the dry down of this one more, probably due to the smokiness. Yeah, it's perfect. It gets compliments. It's also, you can find this under $50. Again, I'm not sponsored. I think this is just an incredible fragrance, and you have to factor in price when it comes to fragrances because no matter how many compliments a fragrance gets, you're not going to spend $500 on it, and it lasts like 2 minutes. Let's just be real. Nobody's going to do that. majority of people are not going to do that. Well, maybe I shouldn't say nobody, but 99% of people are not going to do that. This just combines what a mass appeal fragrance should be. Smells good, gets positive attention, it is not super expensive, and it lasts. I think that's what a mass appeal fragrance should be, and I would consider this a masterpiece for sure. If you want to get the original shirt or Creed Aventus itself, those are still masterpieces. Creed Aventus DNA in general is just a masterpiece. I just think this is my favorite and the best version of that fragrance, in my opinion. 10 out of 10, mass appeal masterpiece. Taking the number one spot in mass appeal masterpieces, we have Club de Nuit Intense Man.